Indeed, to find out what's going to happen. Well, we don't have any football games, so we can rest up this weekend. But what do you expect, Peter, on Monday?
Well, I mean, on the market? I mean, I don't know. I mean, anything can happen on Monday.
No, thanks, Peter. Play with us, please. Just play along.
Remember, we're in a bear market, right? You know, in bull market, you know, climbs a wall of worry. Well, a bear market slides a slope of hope. In a bull market, right, it's the declines that are sharp, right? Everybody gets scared. It's the opposite. So in a bear market, you get these big, sharp rallies. So you don't get really excited when these rallies come.
See, you have
They're opportunities to sell.
Jill, you were just nodding in agreement here.
Well, I think that, first of all, it's hard to say, like, what is going to happen. I tend to believe, actually, it's not going to be that interesting a week next week, and until the Fed speaks. And I'm a little bit concerned that there could be a major sell-off in stocks if the Fed only gives us 25 basis points, because now all of a sudden everybody started saying 50. And so I'm a little concerned about that day, but I don't see a lot of people taking big bets right now.
Lee?
Well, I think we're in for volatility for a really long time. I don't think next week is going to be like this week. We're not going to have this newsworthy, record-setting move by the Fed that took everyone by surprise and made everyone think, my God, they're panicking
well, that
too.
only happens once in a lifetime.
Well, exactly. I think that accounted for a lot of this week.
Quentin, what do you think might happen? I mean, what does a Monday look like after a week that we had this time?
Well, I think Bush will try and say something substantive in the State of the Union and lay out some policy. The Fed's got real news, you know. Obviously, a lot of corporate earnings are coming out. That'll go in two directions. The retailers will show sensitivity. The tech guys seem a little bit immune. Anybody with international exposure is better off. Yeah, maybe Paris Hilton does something salacious, too. I'm getting nostalgic for those good old days, right? You know, remember when that was news? Now we're just going to roll a coaster and figure out what the hell any of this stuff is worth. It's going to take months sorting out what the hell any of this stuff is worth. So the volatility is just a given to me.
Yeah, but John,
up 300, down 250, net 50.
Okay, John Rutledge, usually a week when the Fed meets for its decision about whether it's going to raise, lower, or keep the rates the same, it's a big news week, but it's going to be hard to eclipse this one.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I have no idea what's going to happen on Monday. There is a great deal of news coming out next week. Most important, probably from the Fed. I agree with Lee. We need 50 basis points. The president's going to ask for his tax cuts and get nothing. And on Tuesday, also, we get numbers from the Case-Shiller Home Price Index, which is actually a better index than the ones we've seen this week. But this is a time to be calm. There are lots of bargains out there to be had. You just have to be very careful and buy in slowly.
Where, for example?
I think the financials have been sold down much too hard, and the good names have been sold down with the bad names. And so I've bought a little bit there this week. I think some of the tech companies got sold down too hard this week, Apple among them. Okay. And so longer term, this is a time when you can add to a portfolio, not a time to sell from one.
Jill, don't tell me what you don't like. Tell me what you do like and what you're buying for your clients.
Remember on Monday when when everyone else was not working and we were, and you said to me, what should people buy? Right now, if you have a diversified portfolio, especially folks who have a 401k or a 403b account, or you're putting money into your IRA account, by the way, take those rebates and put it right into your IRA accounts, you should be looking at a broad-based U.S. index, a large cap. I said that on Monday. You should be nibbling. If you had nibbled on Tuesday, you would have been pretty good. Peter's going to slam me right now. But for people who are longer-term investors, again, I think a diversified portfolio, having a little exposure to stocks is going to be just fine.
10 seconds, Peter.
Well, you can have exposure to stocks, just the right stocks. You don't want to be in anything that's related to American consumers, either spending money or paying back the money they borrowed. You want to be in the exporters. You want to be in natural resources, metals, industrial metals, precious metals, energy, agriculture. There's all sorts of places to invest.
Makes sense.
And we've got sectors struggling, but gold, of course, that Peter loves, continues to glitter up about $7 right now.